Welcome to this explainer on creativity and innovation mechanisms. Let's just dive right in, okay? We need to address a massive misconception that honestly is holding back professionals, entrepreneurs, and creators everywhere. For decades, we've tossed around two very powerful words as if they mean the exact same thing. We slap them on our resumes, we paint them in huge letters on our office walls, we demand them from our teams. But here's the thing. Treating these two completely distinct concepts as interchangeable, it's actually creating a massive roadblock in our ability to produce real, tangible results.
So what is the exact difference between innovation and creativity? Seriously, I want you to really think about that for a second. If you had to define the hard boundary between the two right now, could you do it? Well, don't worry if you can't, because confusing these two terms is exactly why so many brilliant world-changing concepts just fail to ever become a reality. We think we're being creative when actually we're just being innovative. And that subtle little misunderstanding, it leaves our absolute best ideas trapped right inside our own heads. To solve this, we're going to rely on a phenomenal source, Dr. Khalid Moussa Idris's framework. We've actually put together the best video overview for you today, and I gotta say, I absolutely love how the nice, vibrant colors on these slides, much like this glowing brain image from the book's cover, perfectly represent the complex cognitive mechanisms we're about to unpack. Just look at the gears, the circuits, the light bulbs. This isn't just abstract philosophy, you know? It's a highly structured look at the literal machinery of our minds. Okay, let's start with innovation. Linguistically, Dr. Idris points out something super interesting. The Arabic root for innovation is bukara, which literally means to arrive early or to arrive at dawn. Think of it like someone who anticipates something and just gets there before anyone else. Innovation is fundamentally about being proactive. It's the raw, early perception. It's that nascent, unprecedented idea sparking in your brain long before anyone else has even realized there's a problem to solve. Basically, when you invent a new concept in your mind, you are innovating. Now, this is where the cognitive distinction becomes crystal clear. Innovation is the internal thought. It's that nascent, unprecedented idea. Creativity, on the other hand, is the external reality. It's the successful execution of that idea. Think of it this way. An innovator comes up with a brilliant new blueprint, but a creator actually builds the house so people can live in it. You literally cannot be described as creative unless you execute your innovative idea, making it tangible so it can be experienced in the real world through our senses. So the absolutely crucial point here is this foundational equation. Creativity equals innovation multiplied by execution. I just love how Dr. Idris reduces this incredibly complex human behavior down to simple math. Because think about it. In math, if you multiply any number by 0, the result is 0, right? You could have an innovation score of 100, literally the greatest idea in human history. But if your execution is 0, your creativity mathematically amounts to nothing. Creativity demands action. What's really interesting here is how we can see this exact equation play out across totally different global sectors. On the left, you'll see domains heavily reliant on structured innovation, manufacturing, big businesses, massive enterprises. These environments are laser-focused on generating raw new systems and efficiencies. But then on the right, we have fields defined entirely by their tangible execution: the arts, design, media, music. These are the creative fields because their entire existence relies on taking an abstract idea and making it physically visible, audible, or usable for an audience. Moving on to Section 1, Harnessing Subconscious Influence, the Internal Drivers of Ideas. The source material gets really fascinating here, detailing how our subconscious is constantly being spoken to by external physical media. We are surrounded by subvisual messages. These are flashes occurring in thousandths of a second that our conscious eyes completely miss, but our brains definitely record. We're also exposed to subaudible messages, like low-wavelength frequencies embedded right in the audio we consume. These external factors work from the outside in. They're actually manipulating our faculty of imagination, planting ideas, and altering our feelings before we consciously realize what's even happening. Crazy, right? To truly innovate, Dr. Idris argues we have to fight back against that external programming. We literally have to reverse the flow of influence. True influence must flow from the highest level, meaning our conscious mind and divine instinct, down to the lowest level, which is the material world. So instead of letting the material objects around us dictate our thoughts from the bottom up, we have to generate an idea at the top and push that mental perception downward with serious momentum to shape our material reality. Which brings us to Section 2, the golden circle, the catalyst for execution. To actually do this, Dr. Idris highlights the golden circle concept, which was famously developed by Simon Sinek. Notice how the concentric colored layers on this slide, why, how, and what, mirror the natural functioning of our brains. This isn't just some clever corporate marketing gimmick. It is a profound structural pattern of thinking that's based directly on human nature and our innate biological wiring.
Let's contrast how we usually do things with how our brain actually wants us to do things. The traditional method, which, by the way, is exactly why most institutions totally fail to execute creatively, works from the outside in. They start by telling you what they do, then how they do it, and honestly, they rarely ever get to the why. But the golden circle, it works from the inside out. It launches at full speed from the most exciting, intimate, and emotional core, the why, and then moves outward toward those tangible results.
Let me just walk you through this inside-out progression step by step. Step 1 is the why. This taps into the deepest part of the brain, the part responsible for emotions, trust, and our true driving purpose. Step 2 is the how. These are the processes, the physical movements, the actual corporate activities we use to bring the idea to life. And step 3 is the what. This is that outer layer, the tangible result, the final product you hold in your hand. Emphasizing the why first acts as the ultimate subconscious catalyst. It creates shared feelings and loyalty, and that is the exact fuel you need to drive the execution of your creative ideas. And that just brings it all together beautifully. Let's remind ourselves of Dr. Idris's absolute definition of creativity: the successful application of the generated or agreed upon innovative idea at both the individual and organizational levels. Creativity is the physical manifestation of the idea on the ground. It's making the invisible visible. And it's only made possible when we combine our internal, early arrival innovations with rigorous, inside-out execution frameworks, like the Golden Circle.
So, we're going to end our explainer today with a direct challenge to you. How will you apply the why of the Golden Circle to execute your next big innovative idea? Because it's time to stop just being an innovator who collects raw ideas inside your head. It's time to start being a creator who pulls those ideas down from the mind, multiplies them by execution, and actually brings them to life in the real world.